What do you think about Anna? Do you know Anna and she's a junior? What about James? James Francis. He's a sophomore. He has the
with the hair.
Yeah, and the tux. No. Did you ever meet when you were a couple years below? Did you ever meet Adam? Adam, he's like very tall guy, glasses.
Basketball player.
Basketball player, yeah.
Yeah. I met him.
But he's a no.
No. He's a
George Ludlow.
no, especially not. That is out of all those people.
Why?
Like I used to live in the same hall as him, and he was always like going to the bathroom and like leaving his phone and his wallet like on the toilet seat. Like the toilet seat was closed, and then he would just leave his phone and wallet on top. And I was like, why are you doing that? You have to like take it off, and move it to the windowsill.
I don't know. I just want someone to kind of look at this paper and maybe help me.
No, I don't think he's the person for that.
Well, my last one is Helen. Do you know Helen? Helen. She's in your grade. I mean, I've seen you walking with her, and you guys. Helen on that.
What does she look like?
She kind of is shortish. She kind of has big, kind of like, not really like big cheeks, but not that nice.
Hell,
just kind
of. Hell yeah. Yeah. No.
Who do you like to look at your work?
Like Frankie maybe, but even that I don't really take it into account, as I say.
But do you ever try to submit, or like, what do your professors think about the work that you're turning in?
I mean, I don't really know. I don't like check my bib very often. But one time I saw this woman walking in Tivoli, like on the main street, and I heard Mary Gateskill lives there, and she was like a woman with gray hair, and I thought like this really could be Mary Gateskill. So I went up to her and I said, "I'm a huge fan of your writing." I didn't ask if she was Mary Gateskill, and she was like, "Oh, thank you."
Yeah,
thank
of course,
you.
very nervous person.
Yeah, she was nervous, but she was willing to talk.
But she's so observant.
Yeah,
like she just
in
kind
the
of
eyes,
watching
she
the
has
eyes
this cat eye,
and the cat.
Yeah. Why don't you send it to me? And I was like, no, this is a person I can send my writing to. But the email was, the email was like some letters and some numbers. I guess like to keep it anonymous, and so I sent it to her, and we had a Zoom meeting. Like she was a professor, and she was like,
wow. And had she marked up?
No, she told me I failed.
Just that you failed.
Yeah.
Didn't even like make a dent in anything.
Yeah, but then it's weird because then I looked at Mary Gateskill online. It said she doesn't live in Tivoli anymore. So like I don't even know if that was her still.
Well, I had an experience where I was at Lucoli, and this woman came in, also gray-haired, cat eyes, didn't talk much, and didn't say she was Mary Gateskill.
But why did you think she was Mary Gateskill?
Because just the way that she was the only one there, like it was almost like a silence had taken over.
So she was wearing like black.
She was wearing all black, and like there was. I actually looked outside the window at the time, and there was no one around, and so it's kind of this thing of like.
Exactly. Yeah.
Moment when.
That's exactly how I felt.
The moment when.
Yeah, the street was. It was weird. It was like noon, like.
Yeah,
prime,
it's noonday.
Like it was noon Saturday.
The bells.
There was no one there.
Dong,
yeah.
Dong,
exactly. Yeah.
Dong. Yeah. Then she was there, and then she was just like looking at me and observing me like way more than other customers would. Other customers are like, "Oh my God, how are you? Like, what are you doing? Like, oh my God, it's so good." But she was just. And I could tell she was like trying to put me into a character of one of her stories, because she writes a lot about young men being like kind of bad people. Yeah, and I was like, does she think I'm just like this kind of pizza guy pervert? But I don't think I was.
Like putting the pizza in.
Just putting pizza in without, and like I knew that. And so I didn't even say. But on the phone, there had been someone that day who said, "Pizza for Mary." And so then when I put that together later, I was like, that was Gateskill.
Sometimes there's this girl in your grade, I don't know if you know her, Clem. Her sister has a literary magazine. It's only distributed at in random spots throughout the city. Like there's no specific location. She just kind of throws the papers around. And so I thought that would be perfect for me to submit to.
Yeah. I
submitted to that, and it was a short story that I wrote. And so this girl, Clem's sister, she said.
Was that the short story "No Autumn for Winners" that you wrote?
No, this was "No Summers for Spring," the part 2. So she was like, "This isn't true. This didn't happen to you."
So
she didn't publish it. No. Even though it's a literary magazine, I started thinking is what I'm writing true? Is it true?
Or did you fail?
Yeah. And I was thinking, is this why Mary Gateskill felt that I failed?
Wow.
Yeah.
So, auto-fiction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then my sister said this isn't true. I can't publish it. She said that it didn't happen to me.
Just
It was a lie.
then
I mean, it was fiction.
it was fiction and they didn't publish it.
Like I said, it didn't happen.
Didn't happen. The hardest part about being a writer is when you submit something
making
and
sure
then,
everything is true.
yeah, like when you submit something and then it's a piece of fiction, but
Making something up, but making sure that it's real.
Makes it impossible virtually to write about childhood.
Exactly.
You can't really write kids in your stories, you know.
Yeah, because who are you to know?
It's such a cliche anyway.
Unless you were a kid, like we're like five. If you have a kid who's like 5 or 6 and you set them up with like a tape recorder and get them to start talking, you know.
Yeah, you get them some coffee and like make them wake up early, like kind of like Patti Smith.
Yeah.
Just Kids.
Yeah.
How did you even write that book? I don't even understand. Just Kids, like were you kids?
Yeah. Feels like anything funny happened to you lately?
Nothing that funny. Some kind of odd things have been happening, but no, like with my girlfriend. I mean, we have a common repertory of jokes that we return to when we're in conversation.
You need those, yeah.
But I wouldn't say that anything particularly that laugh out loud is funny has happened.
Is there anything that like you don't want to talk about?
Yeah, my dad called me the other day and he was telling me not to, you know, when I go over to my girlfriend's house this Thanksgiving, he was kind of giving me this sort of political script of things to say to her family, on his behalf.
And were they helpful?
Well, I was kind of like, Dad, like, I'm your son, like, don't you know me? Don't you know that I would never say those things?
And what did he say?
And my dad was just like, son, you have always gone against my rule.
No.
What are you writing?
I'm just writing out what he said.
How much work I did for you and your mother. He said those exact words.
Yeah,
So
but I mean,
real.
who cares? Yeah, it happened, so, you know.
Are you going to put that anywhere, or just kind of...
I don't know. I just want to see where it goes.
Do you think
like,
you're going to...
you felt like you needed to, like, take a shower in the bathroom? I don't know.
There for like 5 days, and he said, you know what, this is just another evidence of you and your mother working against me and working against my thoughts about the world, and you just think I'm a hermit.
Oh, do you think that?
No, I said, Dad, of course I never see the hermit. When I think about you, I think about hitting the ball, and I think about what it was like to be a kid.
Like hitting the baseball.
Hitting the baseball.
Okay.
And so I guess that was that. I remember that scene. And then I said, I need to take a shower, Dad. I can't talk to you right now. Bye.
That was great. You were just like, bye? Like you hung up?
Yeah, I just kind of clearly hung up. But this isn't going to go to any of like some guy reading this, like someone reads this
like
in the magazine.
Like someone picks it up in the park, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that would be, because it could like, you know, it could get back to your dad.
I'm glad we're on the same page.
But like, you know, like your dad, you know, you're both from San Francisco, like people from there, they just have this way of like, you know, like making the conversation about like what I'm doing and like what I'm writing, or they're like, you know, like what's your name, or like where the directions to the parking lot, or like what time is it, or like is it hot? Like when you're inside, they'll be like, oh, is it still hot outside?
Yeah,
outside?
that's a trait I think is like uniquely Bay.
What are you doing? What are you thinking? What are you like writing about?
Yeah.
The seasons.
So exciting.
Stories. Yeah, it's just exciting to start something new.
So exciting.
Something about fathers.
Fathers,
for sure. Like your father and the New Year, like New Year's Eve, New Year's in like before
just
New Year's,
the,
like
the
Christmas,
idea
the
that fathers don't get gifts for Thanksgiving or Christmas, and they have to sit there.
You know?
Yeah, we get them some.
Yeah.
Like
Thanksgiving, they might be a little bitter. They might be like, why are you not with me on Thanksgiving? Why are you with this other family? And they might be like, what's that family doing? Are they like, who are they voting for? Like, what are they eating for Thanksgiving?
I think
when do
relatable.
they celebrate Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
You know,
I think it's a relatable thing.
Yeah.
What does a dad do?
Or like, you know, and his reaction to that, and how
that affects
how you as the children,
and
our children, deal with the
how that affects a journey.
Yeah, your journey into the new year after the Thanksgiving, and you know, like, what do you remember of your father? Not you, just like
the collective.
Like, you know, I'm gonna maybe write in the second person, like the you. How do you remember your father hitting a baseball with you?
Or not.
Or not. maybe he wasn't athletic.
Yeah, I think
No,
you could
it
take that in
depends.
many different
Yeah,
directions.
exactly. That's what I'm thinking.
Well, I hope I can read it. Email you. Are you on my mailing list? I send out poems.
Yeah, that's you.
No one will collect the tune.
Yeah.
You kind of special and you feel special in your day.
It does make me feel special. I actually thought it was just somebody sending it to me. Like I thought it was kind of just like some guy like kept emailing me. I didn't know there was a whole list. But I guess you're blind CCing them. I was kind of like, who is this guy?
Exactly.
But,
it was me.
You know, come over for dinner sometime. We can, like, connect, talk. I can like bring my voice recorder and do like
I would love to do that.
You know, yeah.
I'd love to put some of my poetry past you.
Yes, of course. Yeah. Cool. Okay.
All right.
See ya.
I'll see you.
Bye.